Welcome back to Ancient Stoic Secrets, where modern wisdom meets timeless strength. There's a quiet power in a woman who doesn't rush to fill the silence. She doesn't text first just to check in. She doesn't over-explain when things feel off. And strangely enough, it's in that silence, that absence, that a man begins to feel her most. Why? Because the mind can't obsess over something that's fully known. But when she leaves space for wondering, space for curiosity, she becomes unforgettable. Think about it. The movie you kept thinking about was the one that didn't give it all away in the trailer. The woman he keeps thinking about is the one who didn't hand him everything on day one. Ask yourself, do you give him room to miss you? Or are you always available, always explaining, always there? Because mystery isn't distance, it's value with restraint. 1. The power of her silence, where modern wisdom meets timeless strength. There's a quiet power in a woman who doesn't rush to fill the silence. She doesn't text first just to check in. She doesn't over-explain when things feel off. And strangely enough, it's in that silence, that absence, that a man begins to feel her most. Why? Because the mind doesn't obsess over what it already owns. It obsesses over the unknown. Think about it. The movie that stayed in your head? The one that didn't give it all away in the trailer? The woman he keeps replaying in his mind? She left room for questions. Ask yourself, do you give him space to miss you? Or do you show up before he ever wonders where you are? 2. Boundaries earn respect. A woman without boundaries may be loved but rarely respected. You teach people how to treat you, and every time you say yes to what you don't feel aligned with, you tell them your needs come second. Imagine this. He shows up late. You stay silent. He forgets to check in. You forgive instantly. Little by little, you fade in your own story. But the woman who calmly says, "This doesn't work for me," who walks away from half love and half effort, she doesn't lose the man. She either upgrades him or replaces him with peace. Boundaries aren't walls. They're filters. They let love in, but only when it's clean. Ask yourself, where have I abandoned myself to avoid disappointing someone else? 3. Non-reactivity is feminine power. He pulls away. He delays the text. He sends a dry message just to see what you'll do. And while most women spiral into, "What did I do wrong?" the grounded woman doesn't flinch. She takes a breath. She responds when it's right. Not out of fear, not out of proving, because her worth isn't shaken by one man's mood. You see, your reaction is information. It tells him how easily he can control your peace. And when you refuse to overreact, when you stay centered, it makes him pause. It makes him reconsider. Because calm is rare. Calm is unforgettable. Ask yourself, are you reacting or responding? Are you handing over your power or holding your ground in grace? 4. The gift of mystery. We live in a world of oversharing. Social media teaches us to post, explain, narrate every moment. But mystery? That's the ancient art women have forgotten. Mystery doesn't mean playing games. It means you don't rush to spill your whole soul on date 1. You don't need him to understand you before he's earned that level of closeness. A woman who unfolds slowly becomes the story he wants to keep reading. Ask yourself, do I let him earn my layers, or do I hand them out for free? You don't need to be cold, just selective. You're not hiding anything. You're just inviting him to show he's safe to open up to. 5. Emotional detachment isn't cold, it's freeing. Loving someone deeply doesn't mean losing yourself in them. Emotional detachment means, I care about you, but I'm okay either way. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not closed off, you're just whole with or without him. And that kind of woman? She's magnetic. Because her peace doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't crumble when ignored. Think of a woman sipping her coffee alone on a rainy morning. No drama, no checking the phone every 3 minutes. She's not ignoring love, she's just not addicted to it. Ask yourself, do I feel peace when love is uncertain? Because if not, maybe what you're calling love is really just fear of being alone. 6. Don't be easy access. Be selectively available. Men value what feels earned, not what's always there. If you're always free, always waiting, always saying yes, you become a convenience, not a choice. But when you protect your time, when you say, I already have plans, let's try another day, you show you live a full life, with or without him. You're not punishing him. You're reminding him your time is valuable. And it's not handed out casually. Ask yourself, have I been available for someone who's not showing up with intention? Because love isn't about constant presence. It's about mutual priority, and that starts with how you treat your own schedule. 7. Presence over pursuit. When you walk into a room with calm confidence, not trying to impress, not trying to prove, people notice, especially him. Because the woman who is deeply present in her own body, in her own peace, she doesn't need to chase. She attracts. This kind of feminine energy doesn't shout, it radiates. It's the woman who's focused on her life, her rhythm, her purpose, and lets him find his place in it, not the other way around. You don't need to chase a man when you're already walking in your own direction. Ask yourself, have I lost my own rhythm in trying to keep up with his? The more you anchor in yourself, the more others feel pulled toward you without you saying a word. 8. She becomes the prize by never asking to be chosen. The moment you stop asking, does he want me? And instead ask, do I want him in this life I'm building? Everything changes. You stop shrinking to fit someone else's world. You stop performing for love. Instead, you stand. Tall, clear, calm. Because you are the prize. Not because you're perfect, but because you finally decided you don't need to be chosen to feel worthy. You know who you are, and that knowing is irresistible. Ask yourself, if I stopped chasing approval, how would I show up differently tomorrow? Stillness is a superpower. Boundaries are magnetic, and your peace is your greatest asset. You don't win love by chasing it. You receive it by becoming the woman who never needed to. If this resonated with your soul, hit subscribe to Ancient Stoic Secrets. We're building a quiet revolution, one calm, powerful woman at a time.